This is Dave Sundstrom, and you know what? I'm hanging out on Tubi right now, and as usual, I am totally impressed with the amount of nostalgia TV programming that's available for consumption here. So many good shows, and today we're going to talk about 5 comedies, television comedies from the past that are, they're freely available for you to watch here on Tubi, and they're just so darn good. So, with that said, let's go ahead and go full screen here. We're going to start here with Bewitched. So Tubi right now has seasons 5 and season 6 of Bewitched, and that's actually pretty cool because what you get is Elizabeth Montgomery at her most beautiful. I think these seasons are, she's just so beautiful, so lovely to watch, and absolutely hilarious. In addition, season 5 is the final season with Dick York. Let's just double check that. Let's scroll through here, and that sure looks like Dick York, but let me keep going. There he is. Season 5, episode 15 thumbnail confirms Dick York is still on the show. Now, if my memory serves me correct, we go over to season 6, and let's see what we have here. There he is. Dick Sargent, replacing Dick York due to just terrible back pains he was having. And truthfully, he became addicted to painkillers and wanted off the show, and quite frankly, they wanted him off the show. So let's go ahead, and that's recommendation number 1, Bewitched. Let's keep scrolling down, and here's recommendation number 2, one of my favorite television programs. Of course, I didn't watch it when it originally aired on CBS. I caught it in reruns during the 70s. Your first season of Gilligans Island is in black and white. But fortunately, we have all 3 seasons here. Season 2 was in color, as was season 3. And there are so many darn fun episodes here. Bob Denver, Alan Hale, Jim Backus, Natalie Schaefer, Tina Louise, Russell Johnson, and Don Wells, who were affectionately known during the first season, Russell and Don, as the rest. But a really fun show to watch, and I really love these black and white episodes of season 1. Did you know that when Tina Louise signed on to this project, she really thought that she was going to be the star of the show? She didn't realize that it was more of an ensemble comedy. Anyway, recommendation number 2, Gilligan's Island. Okay, let's keep scrolling. Moving on down. Let's fast forward to the 80s. A couple of great situation comedies here. We've got The Facts of Life. Now, The Facts of Life is an interesting show because the facts of life that we came to know over the years is dramatically different. Well, I won't say dramatically, but somewhat different than what we saw during season 1 of the show, which had a different cast, or certain members of the cast were different, including one Molly Ringwald, who played Molly on season 1. Let me see what our seasons... Oh, we've got a huge choice of seasons here. Seasons 1 through 9, so it looks like they have the entire series run. After season 1, of course, they pared down the cast of girls and added Nancy McKeon as Jo. And really, that's when the show hit its stride. But Facts of Life is so much fun. A spin-off of Different Strokes. And as you can see right here, if you look right here, this is later on during one of the final seasons. I'm not sure if it was 8, 9, or 7. Somewhere around there, George showed up for a while. George Clooney. Okay, and I also wanted to recommend, so that's recommendation number 3. Let's recommend Alf. A great situation comedy from 1986. This is the hit 80s comedy, as Tubi says, about a furry alien life form, hence the term Alf. It's an abbreviation, who crashes into a suburban family's house and takes his place there as a total smart aleck. And let's see what we've got here. Look at that. We have all 4 seasons of the show. That's great. Too bad they don't have the follow-up movie that aired more than a decade later. Project Alf is what it was called. But this is a great show, and if your kids haven't been introduced to Alf, this is one I would recommend. So, recommendation number 4, Alf. Final recommendation. Which one are we going to go with? Because there's 3 good choices on this line, but I've got to go here. What's Happening? The classic 70s series about LA high school journalist Raj and his best friends, Rerun and Dwayne. And of course, let's not forget Danielle Spencer, who was just so much fun on the show as Raj's little sister Dee. You know, Danielle has grown up to be a veterinarian, if I remember correctly, and such a talented, smart gal who has really had her fair share of trials in life. But What's Happening aired for 3 seasons? 3 seasons during the 70s, and then we had What's Happening Now during the 80s, which was a syndicated hit. And Fred Berry was, of course, in What's Happening throughout all 3 seasons, and then I think he was in What's Happening Now for the first season. But Fred Berry, what a character. I've done a video on him, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you track that one down. But another great television show from the 70s. In this case, we were looking at sitcoms. We've highlighted 5 of them, 2 from the 60s. Bewitched, it was still playing during the early 70s, but we'll call it a 60s sitcom. So you had Bewitched and Gilligans Island. Recommendation number 3 was Facts of Life, an 80s sitcom, as was Alf, which aired in 86 for 4 seasons. And then we're wrapping things up with a 70s sitcom, What's Happening, which was loosely based on the movie Cooley High. Truly a nostalgic artifact from a wonderful decade. So those are my 5 recommendations. More broadly, Tubi. What an incredible streaming service this is. Completely free if you're willing to watch a few ads. So many great TV shows, and as you can see right here, a lot of good movies as well. Folks, if you haven't seen Pixels, check it out. It's one of Adam Sandler's funnier movies, I think, and I'm a huge video game fan, so of course I loved that one. Alright, that's it, folks. Expect more videos like this in the future. Hopefully you enjoy them. Give me feedback if you enjoy this kind of video, and I'm also open to suggestions, what you would like to see from me as I start spending more time talking about how you can get to nostalgic programming, how you can get to the favorite shows that you had from years gone by. But most importantly, folks, thank you so much for watching today.